To put things in perspective, let's get this straight. Since the very beginning, there has been a buzzing anticipation that the price of XRP, reaching a historic $10,000, was not just a possibility, but an inevitability. To add insult to injury, that forecast has recently been given a significant boost. What we are discussing here is none other than Larry Fink, who is affiliated with BlackRock and is lending his support to this endeavor. Think about this. In his discussion, he is not merely referring to a meager $10,000 per XRP. I'm sorry to say that he is referring to it as a fundamental requirement. Now we're getting to the juicy part. Then, consider the fact that financial powerhouses like as BlackRock and Vanguard are already giving serious consideration to using XRP for their international transactions. Hold on. Things are about to get even more exciting. So, reportedly, BlackRock is planning to develop an exchange-traded fund, ETF, that is centered on XRP. Indeed, you did hear that correctly. But hold on, there's more to come. The work of Larry Fink did not end there. According to him, the enormous real estate market is worth $30 trillion. Can you predict what the most important aspect of its future is? You have it right. This is the XRP ledger that is prepared to tokenize the entire thing. In addition, the International Swaps and Traders Association is planning to flow via the XRP ledger and rip it off with a stunning $1. 2 quadrillion from the ISDA. In this context, we are not simply referring to $10,000 per XRP. That's what children do. According to some estimates, the value of 1 XRP might climb to as high as $60,000. Doesn't that blow your mind? At this point, let's move on to the following section. Another bombshell was released by Larry Fink, who is representing BlackRock CK. Rather than merely uttering words, he is acting. In the process of tokenizing everything, Ripple and its digital asset XRPs are on the verge of accomplishing something monumental. In the following segment of our film, we have a footage that is going to make people sit up and take notice. Sit up and take notice. BlackRock CK's progression toward an XRP exchange-traded fund was confirmed by Larry Fink himself. Therefore, let's not stay here any longer. Here is the video clip that you have been anticipating. Introducing Bitcoin exchange-traded funds is one example of how we are legitimizing it. More security is being created by us. Are you going to try another ETF? Why not an exchange-traded fund ETF or XRP? You must have some ether in your possession. I am a wheat. But what about XRP? Are you able to explain that? Not at all. It's not that you want me to, is it? Yes, I am. No, I am unable to. Okay, let's go. I'm getting the rap of it from them. I am grateful. We have been witness to a maelstrom of abnormalities in the cryptocurrency industry in recent days, notably with regard to XRP currency. Imagine this. The value of XRP skyrocketed on the world-famous cryptocurrency exchange Crypto.com, reaching an astounding $43,000 and beyond all expectations. The sudden increase in the value of XRP is not a one-time occurrence. Rather, it is part of a continuing trend of unexpected price increases. Just last week, we talked about a malfunction that occurred at a large exchange that caused XRP to be worth $7,000. Now it is time for crypto. Calm to take the stage. Moreover, it appears that these abrupt increases in the value of XRPs are becoming a common occurrence across a variety of platforms. However, let's shift our focus to something different. Something that I discovered after extensive study that is equally fascinating but has nothing to do with BlackRock or the overall growth in the number of XRP market participants. So, Gary Gensler, the well-known chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, who succeeded Jake Clinton, is the subject of our discussion. In a consistent manner, Gensler classifies XRP as a security, which the majority of you may already be aware of. This is when things start to get interesting. An amazing likeness exists between Gary Gensler and his identical twin brother, Robert M. Gensler. Both brothers are the same age and share the same appearance. Robert is an important person at Troll Price, where he serves as the vice president of the company. Troll Price is not just any investment organization. Rather, it is one of the big players that has a significant amount of money invested in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and yes, XRP. This is something that you will discover when you delve a little more. As a result, there's an intriguing relationship here. Despite the fact that Gary Gensler, who is currently in charge of the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, continues to classify XRP as a security, his twin brother is deeply involved in an investment firm that is a large investor in XRP, as well as other cryptocurrencies. This is a fascinating juxtaposition that brings up quite a few concerns regarding the complex dynamics that are at play in the realm of cryptocurrency rules and investments. The enticing possibility is brought to our attention by this. Is it possible that Robert Gensler, the vice president of Troll Price, has access to confidential information regarding the potential of XRP that is comparable to that of Bitcoin and Ethereum? Surim. When you take into consideration the considerable investments that the company has made in these three cryptocurrencies, this idea begins to gain traction. Despite the fact that the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, publicly rejects any concept of insider trading, multiple reports and investigations have revealed otherwise. These investigations, which have focused on market manipulation and insider trading, have frequently pointed out activities within the SEC that require further scrutiny. It would appear that a pattern is beginning to emerge fully. Officials from the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, appear to be informing their family about which digital assets may soon be exempt from being classified as securities. The value of the asset skyrockets when it is formally deemed to be non-security, which occurs when these relatives participate early in the project. By doing so, these family members and acquaintances are able to make a substantial profit by purchasing at a cheap price and selling at a high price. Within the framework of this discussion, let us take into consideration the likelihood that Robert N. Gensler may have been privy to confidential information on the potential loss that the CC could incur as a result of a lawsuit against XRP from his brother, Gary Gensler. Ripple Labs and the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, may potentially reach a settlement if Congress were to receive such information. Consequently, this is an excellent opportunity for astute investors to get their hands on XRP. So, an additional dimension is added to this narrative by the fact that the Troll Price is gradually channeling cash into cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and most especially XRP. Analysts who have been positive on XRP, such as Jack the Rippler, forecast an enormous surge in its value that could potentially surpass $589. This is despite the fact that the cryptocurrency community is buzzing about the possibility of XRP reaching dizzying heights such as $10,000, $20,000, or even $60,000 foreign dollars. Despite the fact that it is a big prediction, it highlights the growing enthusiasm and speculation about XRP and its potential in the cryptocurrency market. Wall Street is interested in acquiring a portion of the lucrative XRP pie, and my guess is that the first major play will be through an exchange-traded fund ETF that invest in XRP. However, let's delve deeper than simply the surface of this event. We've got some intriguing news from Crypto Basic. An analyst is indicating that JP Morgan has taken a huge leap into XRP, and this has caught the notice of a former Ripple director. This discovery certainly raised my eyebrows, and it's something we need to dissect. Now, here is how the narrative unfolds. Ben Armstrong, who had previously been linked with the BitBoy cryptocurrency brand, has rekindled some contentious allegations over JP Morgan's purported involvement in XRP, which has prompted a response from a former director of Ripple. Over the course of a series of posts, Armstrong, a prominent player in the cryptocurrency industry, disclosed this information. He indicates that JP Morgan has acquired a substantial amount of 7.5 million XRP coins. The next thing that Armstrong does is assert that this action accounts for approximately 7.5% of the overall wealth that JP Morgan possesses. On the other hand, hold on. Mainly due to the fact that the calculations appear to be completely incorrect. For the sake of putting this into perspective, 7.5 million XRP, which is now valued at 4.46 million, does not even come close to accounting for 7.5% of JP Morgan's fortune. After taking into account